Hey guys, well, before we get into 2 and 3 on why they could be back, which is massive news, you can see by this chart. I mean, some of the tokens in the whole ecosystem have done 2000% gains. It's absolutely insane. But before we get into that, yes, the channel's name has been changed, and there's a good reason for it, because crypto is a circus, and we must acknowledge that it is a circus. And this is now the crypto circus, because we are in a circus. When meme coins go up 10,000%, 5,000%, 100,000% overnight, millionaires are printed. And this market is very different than all the other markets. This particular bull run is going to mint more millionaires in crypto than anything else. And you got to be in the position. And if you were in the right position, and we've been talking about 2 ohm, 3 ohm in my group. A lot of my guys have had the 2000 Xers and the big meme coin pushes in my group in Discord. So make sure to join my Discord. It's free for now. Not sure it's going to be free forever, but it is free for now to join. There's a lot of great information from different people in there who I'm talking to about making a little bit more exclusive and possibly charging for it. So just keep that in mind. So come over to the Discord. We talk about different projects and you learn from people. Ask questions. You'll learn from them. There's a lot going on there. Now, let's talk about the circus that is crypto. The amount of money that is going to be coming into this bull run is going to be absolutely mind-boggling, and it has just slowly started. It has not yet trickled down to DeFi. Eventually, it will come to DeFi, but you want to position yourself in DeFi before the money comes rolling through. And all it takes is a couple big DeFi projects to light the whole thing up. Just like it took a couple big meme projects to light things up, it's only going to take a couple big DeFi projects to do the same. When those DeFi projects come, usually it happens a little bit later in the bull run, but however, that's not necessarily the case. There's so much more liquidity in the markets right now that there is a potential for people to get into projects like this are really well thought out. The projects in this cycle, the DeFi projects in this cycle will be more thought out than the last cycle. The last cycle, you could throw up anything. Remember all those ohm forks that people were putting up and all this junk? And this is a tomb fork, by the way. So they're just putting them out every day and people were making millions of dollars, huge 10, 20, 30, $100 million liquidity would come in. 2 ohm, 3 ohm was a part of that. They were the first ones to explode. And I was one of the ones that had started covering it very early on. I was covering it from about $150, $125. And the token went all the way, the 2 shares token went all the way to $8,000. You wouldn't believe it, guys. I had people hitting me up that had bought in, like when I had bought in, the hundreds of dollars, between $100 and $300. And the way tomb forks work is if you buy the share token, you'd put it in the boardroom and you print the peg token. And they were making, literally, people were making thousands of dollars a day. Some cases, a few $100s a day. It was changing their lives. It was just constant money. It was a printing press, which is what these things are when they function correctly. I mean, I was getting DMs from all around the world. I had people wanting to fly me out in private planes. And one guy said he'd made over $1 million on the tomb fork. He was like going to pay me to go over vacation with him in Slovenia. I mean, it was insane. I had so many people hitting me up, come over to London, come here, come there. It was insane. It was insane. It was crazy. It was crazy. So those times, I believe, will come back again, but you got to position yourself early to make those big gains. And if you saw from the last time, that's exactly who made the big gains. The people who put themselves in Tomb Finance, for example, at 30 cents or $1, when Tomb Finance went to $22,000, those people became the millionaires of that cycle. So what I'm trying to do is find a couple big DeFi projects like this to position myself early with good teams to make it happen. That's my thought. Now, keep all this in mind. Incredibly high risk. This is incredibly high risk. And if you don't know what you're doing, you will get slapped. So please keep that in mind. This is not financial advice. You need to learn how these things work. And the best way to learn it is to go into their Discord and talk to the team, because they have an AMA every week. Fight took over this project and many other tomb fork projects. Okay. So him and his team are now educating everyone. If you learn how to use this system, how it works, and how it's a game in a way. It's a seigniorage project that's a gamified, right? If you learn how these things work, you can stand to make enormous amounts of money. Versus a meme coin, you just got to get lucky. This doesn't take luck. This takes knowledge. That's why I've always liked DeFi better than meme coins. A lot of people love these meme coins. Great. But I'd rather be in something I have a knowledge, because I have an advantage over the next person who's playing the game, because I have more knowledge than that next person. So let's talk about what's going on. 2 ohm, 3 ohm, you can see, it was down here. You can see all the 2 shares with 3 shares. It was what, 20 something cents. It went all the way to $4 or $5, 20x basically. I mean, all of them have done incredible. This is the 2 shares. Sorry, this is the 3 ohm token, done about, it looks like about a 10x. They've all done either 10x or 20x from the bottoms, which is absolutely incredible. Even this one, which is the 2 ohm token. Wow, this one might have done even more. Well, looks a little bit over a 10x, maybe 12, 13x. Oh, from the top. Oh, it's even higher. Yeah, that's another 20x. So the numbers have been pretty incredible that they've done. Now, where does all this fit into the ecosystem? Why is this happening? Pyro Swap is the hub of all of this. What they've done, you're basically investing in a new DeFi instrument, which they've created. This is a new generation DEX. This whole DEX is brand new. They've really thought this thing out, and Fife and his team have done an incredible job of really rethinking what a tomb fork is and how to bring it back to peg, which I mean, they've taken on such a responsibility that I commend them. I mean, they're about to do something that no one thought was even possible, which is how to take out all this 2 ohm and 3 ohm out of circulation and how to bring it back to peg. They've actually thought of a way that could work because they've already burned 5%. And this has just been in their beta. They've already burned 5%, which is incredible. So they are burning these tokens like crazy. Now, without even trying, the genesis is right here. What is the genesis? The genesis of all tomb forks start with a genesis, which is a huge amount of liquidity that gets influx into the system through these farms. So these farms pay a crazy percentage and everyone puts their tokens in there. And you can see Pyro Phantom 2 ohm, Pyro Phantom 3 ohm are here. And why are they here? And they're going to pay the biggest amounts from what I understand. The reason they're here is because this is the way it gets burned. The farms, well, first of all, you're going to need Pyro Phantom and 2 ohm. So you're going to have to own both. If you don't own one, you got to buy the other. So it's going to create a demand to buy one or the other or both, right? So what is the mead or the mead? Okay. The mead is the new thing that they've made. Okay. It's right next to farm. It's up here. You're going to take your 2 ohm and your 3 ohm, which you can see how much I have in here. I've been buying and selling it. I own this much. I've definitely made a nice profit on these. How much? I think a 2 or 3x, maybe 4x on this one. I think I've done more. I even forgot I even own this because I didn't put a lot of money in these because the liquidity pools are small. Put, a few $100s, maybe $300-$400. I think on each. Maybe I told have like $1,500 in the whole 2 ohm, 3 ohm system because the liquidity pools are small. I can't put more in that, but the Genesis changes that because the Genesis is going to create all of this liquidity that I can go buy back into and buy more of this and hold for the long term and have an easier way of exiting because the liquidity is there. I can't really sell these tokens, I realize, because the liquidity isn't really, it's not really there, right? So that's something you always have to be aware of with these projects when you get in early, but also that's where the profit is. And when you understand how these things work, knowing liquidity is coming, maybe you don't have as big of a deal slowly buying in. So don't go crazy by $1,000 at a time because the liquidity pools on some of these aren't that big. Maybe you can only buy $200 or $300 at a time. So keep that in mind. Now, look at this. This is the system that they've set up that's going to burn all the 2 ohm and 3 ohm and bring back to peg. Their concept is, this is the real yield. This is the highest real yield, the Pyro Phantom token. You're going to swap. You're basically going to burn your 2 ohm and your 3 ohm and your Z ohm tokens for this Pyro Phantom token. By doing this, you get this, and then you can stake your Pyro Phantom token for more yield. Getting it? You stake it, or you can go into the farms. And then it has epoches. And the great thing about it is this, you get paid, but it's active staking, meaning right before the epoch, you got to switch over and get back into 2 ohm and 3 ohm. And if the price of the Pyro Phantom token, you're going to lose me, and it's okay, drops, which because everyone's going to be selling it. Well, guess what that does? It pushes the APRs up. Then everyone comes back into it from the other side. It's creating this active staking, this kind of this whirlpool, this whole cycle, this flywheel cycle where people are going in and out, in and out. And by people going in and out of Pyro Phantom 2 ohm, 3 ohm, Z ohm, guess what, folks? You're burning. You guys get it? No, you don't. I know you don't. But it's okay. Professor Fife, as it says, Elastic Supply Dashboard. Professor Fife will show you guys on their Discord how this operates. If you listen to this video probably 10 times, you'll understand. No, I'm just kidding. 10 times to me, maybe 3 times. But basically, it's a flywheel effect. It is active staking. You stake in here, you swap back into 2 3 and then once it dips so low, then there's going to be buyers for the Pyro Phantom because the APRs are going to spike up. Then people are going to jump back in there, and then they're going to push up and then they're going to burn more 2 3 See? And then there's a whole arbitrage on the price too. There's times where you can buy Pyro Phantom. It's cheaper than converting over to Pyro Phantom and burning your 2 3 So you're going to see this whole arbitrage situation. He's created a whole ecosystem and the next generation DEX. Pyro Swap is the next generation DEX, and this has the potential to becoming something really big. When I started to understand what Fyth was telling me, I was like, holy shit. This is he's on potentially something absolutely massive. Yes, it's a little confusing at first, but just think of it as a farm token. That's how you have to think of it, with active staking, where you get in and out and playing the game. And by playing this game, you have the potential of earning incredible amounts of money. There is a potential this reaches peg. If this reaches peg, these $3 and $11 tokens have the chance of being 10x, $100, $200, $300 amount, because this will be the first time a tomb fork has repegged and there are no other tomb forks in play. And all you're going to see is waves of DeFi money come through here. If he fixes this, there's a potential that these tokens could explode in price. Now, keep in mind, look, the liquidity is very small, so you can't go in there and buy a lot. Like, I don't own a ton of this because it's very difficult to own a ton of it. Okay, there's not a lot of liquidity, but the liquidity will change in about 5 days. And then I will have, 4 days. And then I will have an AMA with them on the 15th or 16th. And Fyth will come on. We'll go maybe live. We'll do an AMA and we'll talk about the whole thing and how it's going. And hopefully the liquidity here will be huge, or slowly ramping up to be huge. And at that point in time, we'll know if this system is going to work. And I think there's a very high chance that this system works. And if it does work, guys, we could be on the IT DeFi project. This was the IT DeFi project in the last bull run. It could set up the next bull run. This is the next generation DEX. This is a new DeFi instrument that has been created by Fyth and his team. I am stoked. And yes, it is a circus out here. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We are in a circus, so always be careful. And I will get you guys more information, and make sure to follow Fyth and the team in their Discord and learn from them, because if you learn how to use these tools right, unlike a meme token, which is, guessing game, you can actually print money here. You can literally print money. I've done it in the last bull run. Literally sat there and pressed the button every day and made thousands of dollars. Literally, that's all I did. Wake up, press a button. Oh, $3,000. Boop. $5,000. Boop. That's it. You can do the same. Anyway, guys, best of luck. Take care.